All right, let's see if this works. I had to restart it because the sound wasn't working again. And let me know if you can hear me. Sorry. Ugh. Kind of annoying. Let me see. This one is live. Let me see. Oh, there we go. This one is live. All right, that'll work. Let me see. All right, I think we're good. Let me double check again. Yep, we're good. All right. So, hi. Thanks for joining. I am going to be making some solar lights using the glass from like ceiling fan, or what do you call them? Lights, ceiling lights. And with the solar lights that you get from the Dollar Tree. So you will need, these are the ones that I picked up. They have a bunch of different ones that are available at the Dollar Tree or Dollar Store, wherever. Probably Home Depot and stuff have them too. And then these I picked up 5 of these at the Habitat for Humanity store. And there's a couple of different styles you can make with this. So this one's hanging. I have 2 hanging ones. And then there's also just a general stick in the ground one. So this one is, you just basically glue the solar light in here with some E6000 and you're all set. And that one you can stick right in the ground. But I'm going to show you how to make the hanging one because that one's obviously a little bit more difficult. I have a couple of old solar lights outside that are on like a kind of like a shepherd's pole type thing, and I'm hoping to replace them with these. If not, then I'll just get a couple extra shepherd's poles and replace those. So let me put the camera down and show you what I'm going to do. Let's see. I'll get comfortable here. Straighten out my clothes. And I have something that I can twist my wire on, and that will go on the inside. I was using this size, but this one's a little bit smaller, which I think will be better. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So I have some stem wire. Probably picked this up at Michael's or something. I've had it for a while. And so it's probably, if it's called stem wire, it's probably in the flower department, like flower arrangement department, dried flowers or bouquets. What do they call those? The floral department, like at Michael's or whatever. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll kind of figure out where the center is for this wire. It's going to be about there. And then I will take it, and this is just to make my circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. No one's going to see it on the inside. So, and then you're going to take, you want to kind of find the center on each side. And you're going to wrap this around a couple of times till you get to that kind of the center mark there. And if you have pliers, that's going to be handy because you will need them. You'll need them to help you maneuver the wire as well as cut the wire. So And I'm not a jeweler, so I don't know how you would make this wire straighter. Maybe put it on something and hammer it so it's, when you need it to be straightened. I don't know. Then you take the other side and I'm going to pull that one under a couple times. The reason why you're wrapping it is to make it more stable. So I'm going to guess that's kind of the center. And if I had figured it out, I probably could have figured, obviously I don't need this much because I'm going to create the hook here and then I'm going to use another one, cut it in half to create the handle. So, hi Mackenzie, thanks for joining. Figured you're at work, but thanks for hopping on. All right. I'm just going to kind of put this in here and make sure it fits. Doesn't slide through. It should be fine. Now that I think about it, I should have gone on the inside on that one, but that's okay. Could figure it out. I just want to make sure that this doesn't go all the way through. That'll work. As long as it can hold it up. And then I need to, I should put it back in so I can figure out where I need to trim it, and then I'll kind of make the hooks on the end. So I'm going to guess about here. And then about here. And then I'm going to curl these inward with this handy dandy jewelry tool. Make the inside hook part. And you can keep twisting it until it like closes for the most part. Don't get it all the way closed. You can use your pliers to close it up. Then you can straighten it. Pull it up and straighten it a little bit if you want, but I think that should work out fine. I'm trying to see if the other one. I'm sure the jewelry person would know how to make these a little bit more pretty. All right, then take another one and if I just poked it through the plastic. And I just need half of this. So I'll go ahead and cut that in about half. And then I'm going to use this bottle. First, I'm going to find the halfway mark-ish. And then I'll use this bottle to curve this. And again, it's not perfect. It's not real straight, but that's all right. And then I want to hook these either front or back. I don't want them going in. So then I can just hook it right on there, if that makes sense. So I will wrap that way. Same with this one. And then I will in here first and then we'll hook it. Right? Yep. Put it up here. And then hook these in. And use the pliers to squeeze it shut so they don't fall off. Keep shifting on me. Easier said than done. Okay, that one closed. And then if you want, you can kind of just straighten this out with your fingers a little bit. Oops, I just want to make sure it hangs well. Okay, that'll work. And then this is the fun part. So it's not so pretty on the inside, but no one's going to see that. You get your light, your solar light. And I'm going to put E6000 around the top and then push that in. And I leave this part on for now, just so that it can help me give you some leverage holding that in while it's drying. So I'll use E6000. I will also use hot glue around it to help keep it steady in there. Let me go ahead and goop this on around the top here, just around the edge. Try not to get the solar window area. And then you place this on the inside, like so. Fits in there nicely. And then just kind of eyeball it, make sure it's straight, and hold it. E6000 takes a while to dry. So I'm going to take my hot glue and, oops. See, you can't set it down because the wire is in the way and it's going to push the light back up. So you got to eyeball it and make sure it's centered good as you can. And then I'm going to take my glue, pull the camera up a bit. Let me eyeball this again. Take your hot glue gun, and I'm just going to pour it around the inside. It's like I said, it's not going to be, because I can't get really way down in there. So it's not going to be too pretty, but this will help it stay while the E6000 dries, as well as hopefully waterproof it a little bit, because the top is still open, because you have to have you got to make sure that the solar is going to get some light, the little solar panel. So that's in there, kind of goopy, like I said. And I'm just going to press it down for a little bit. But that's pretty stable, sort of. I'm sorry, it just moved. So you just hold that in there for a bit to let it dry. Unfortunately, well, I can see some of the wire. That's not what I wanted. That's all right. See, the other wire was large enough. So you can see the wire in there a little bit. Right there. But that's okay. All right. So that will dry. Get the little stringies off. And then what you can do is take, I'm going to hold this against my chest so that this doesn't come loose here. But you just pull this straight out. And then you can take this part off too if you wanted. But I like how this gives like a, because the light comes from this black part. This has a little like a prism look. And then you make sure you take out the little yellow tab or whatever, the tab that lets the light up. And I can test it. Yeah, that'll work. We cover it up. It is charged. So you can see it a little bit. And then you can hang it on a shepherd's hook or wherever you want. I'm thinking what would be fun too is you could hang some beads on the bottom. That would be pretty. So maybe I'll do that. I'll try one with hanging some beads. So I have 3 of them. I'll show you the other one real quick. This one is really easy. This is, like I said, I got 5 of these at Habitat for Humanity, the Restore. And I got 5 of these. They were $2 a piece, so $10, not bad. They had different, they had some clear ones. I didn't want clear, but they had a white one. It wasn't a huge selection, but I think these are pretty. So these will work fine. So what I can do with this one is just put it inside and glue that down, and then you just stick it in the ground. You can also take this off. You could take this whole thing off and just have the black part and set it down in the ground like that. You could put that like along your walkway. So this will be fairly quick. I will go ahead and put the E6000 on. Center that as best as I can. And this is nice because there's no hangy thing here. I can set it down and press it. So then I will still put the glue around the inside. And get the glue stick. Again, just to help it while the E6000 is drying, as well as hopefully provide a seal in there for any rain that wants to come down in there. You could probably do some kind of a caulk as well. So like I said, it's not pretty, but no one's going to see it. Let that dry, and then this will obviously still get the sun. You just stick it right in the ground. You take this out. It's upside down actually. You put it in, and then this part goes in the ground. So they just have it flipped so you don't stab yourself probably. So that's that one. And again, you take the yellow little thingy out, or the little battery, what do they even call this? Remove before using, well, it says. So as you can see, it's lit up when it gets dark on top there, when it gets dark out. And you just stick it in the ground. And it lights up. And like I said, it has a little prism. You can't really see it. I'll have to get some shots when it's dark out. Take these outside and get a shot. So I think, so you can see it's lighting up. What I want to try with one of these, like I said, is to put hang some beads on the bottom. Wouldn't that be pretty? So I am a little bummed though that this wire is showing. But what are you gonna do? And I think, yeah, that one lights up. So let me get my beads and figure out like how to wrap it around there, colors I want to use, all sorts of goodies here. Oh, that's a lot of them right there. So let's see. This was kind of a last minute. Hey, let's try this. These beads are already done. I'm figuring out if I want to do clear, what color. So this is like obviously like a, oopsie, beige or white, brown, light brown-ish color. So something to match that would be pretty. And this color, those are pretty. Those would match. Let me get a little dish to put some of these in. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to wrap it around inside of there. Let's see what I got here. I don't have any. I got some little. I don't want to use those. Kind of fun to have those. Maybe that will match. I'll put that on the bottom. And here's some wire. Look at one more box. See what I have in there. We've got a big one. Kind of the same color. I could take that off of there, or no, that won't look good if I use that whole thing. It's not very matchy. Now these are like, they would look cool on the bottom, like that. You'd have to take that apart though. These are just like pins. I think here. Since it has a silver top, maybe I'll put silver dividers in there. I'll pick some of those out. Got gold and silver here. All right. That should be good for that one. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. What else will I need? I don't know. Probably. Um. I honestly don't know what else I'll need. Guess we'll wait and see. All right. I'm going to actually use this wire because I have less of it, so I'll use that up first. Might need some crimping things already. Maybe? No, not sure. All right. So I'll move that one over. I think I'm done with these 6,000 right now. I got this. This is called a mandrel set. Creates jump rings, toggle pendants, and earrings. So basically, you just wrap your wire around it. If I wanted to do like a spiral thing, I think I'll just leave it straight up and down. But I don't know if I want to use wire then. I might want to just use um like what do you call it? Plastic, not plastic, but I think I might just use this then, right? If I can wrap it around here and tie it, and then put my beads on here. Looks like I'm going to need some more. Actually, I think I might have another one somewhere. So I'll just kind of guesstimate how much I'm going to need or how many beads. Like, depends on how long I want it to go. Don't want it to go terribly long, but I like to make my uh, working area or my line a little bit longer so that find my scissors. So I have enough to work with. It's not fun to be short. To be short. So I can work top down, bottom up, one or the other. I think what I'll do is I will work. I work top down. I like to use the crimping beads because I don't tie good knots, to be quite honest. So these you just slide on and you pinch them and you got yourself a closure. It's closed. The beads aren't going to slide off. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the bottom so that when I string these through, they're not going to fall off. So you put it on the bottom and you squeeze both sides without squeezing your finger in there. Oops, that didn't work. Squeeze it really tight. Give it a little tug, make sure it's working. And then you can trim off a little bit of excess on there. All right. So I know I wanted to make this big one put this big one on the bottom. So I'll string that through first. And that'll match it very nicely. And then just string the dividers They're shiny, little diamond, pretty. Oh, I did have this one too. Huh. Do I want to put that at the bottom? And then that one? Hmm. Dilemma. Yeah, I think I'll do that. All right, start over. So I almost wonder, I think I'm going to put one of the dividers first, so maybe it'll cover up that crimping thing, and it does. So do that, and then this one. And a divider, and then the big one. And then a divider. And I'll put a few smaller ones on and then see if I like the length of it. All right. Try and determine if that's going to be long enough. I think I'll put one more. And then I can crimp it around here. Although it's not going to be in the center, is it? If I do that, it's not going to come center. So I don't know. How can I get it to come from the center? I got it. I'm going to take this off. Hopefully. There we go. So this is what's inside. This creates the light goes in here and it creates the prism. So I'm trying to figure out how to have this come out of the center. And I'm thinking I could probably get a pin in there, and because it looks like there's a little hole here, I'm going to maybe put a pin in there and see if I can get it to come all the way through, or a needle. So let me find a longish needle. I don't want that one. This one might be too thick. Let's see what we got here. So this one would be good. But I just got to get it through there. And what I think I'm going to try is I have a candle lit. So I wonder if I heat this up, this needle up, if I can poke it through there, if it'll melt the plastic. I'm trying to get this tip melted. Or try to get it through the tip without it cracking. All right, so that's nice and hot, and I'll see if it melts it. Yep, there we go. Look at that. I'm a genius. Genius. All right, so that'll work. And then I can string this through the center. And then it'll be right there in the center. I can put another crimping bead in there. Now that'll be the tricky part, is to crimp it though. Or I can just try and tie a knot. Let me think. What can I do? Well, it won't stay. Otherwise, I'd say just leave it. It won't stay. So I wanted to go about there. The problem with the crimping bead is that I will have to get my fingers in there to crimp it. Get the pliers in there to crimp it, and I don't know if I'll be able to do that. That will be the difficult part. Yeah, I could probably do this. It's going to be difficult to see. All right, let's try. Where'd they go? Oh, right in front of me. So let me slide this in. Probably want it about there. So let me see if I can hang on to this. Slide it in there where I want it. I can probably up a bit and then it'll fall. Let's see. Oh gosh. I squeezed it, but it wasn't crimping. All right. I'm in a really awkward position, if you can tell. This is proving to be a little difficult. All right. Let's see. I want it to be there-ish. I can, all right, I'll do this. Let me pull it up. Because I need it to go down a little bit so I don't have to crimp it so far down. I'm going to take a guess and try and crimp it there, but it wouldn't grab. I don't think it's crimped. It's turning. Did it work? Look at that. There we go. That'll work. All right, trim off the excess. And snap it back in here so it just turns. And there we go. Isn't that cute? I like that. And then you can see. That's so cool. All right, there you go. There's your solar light. You hang it on a shepherd's hook, hanging in a tree. Like I said, with the other ones, you can do it so that you just stick it in the ground. Take this out and you just poke it in the ground. And then that one lights up. I have a couple of these and I have 3 hanging ones. There's 5 of them total. So now, of course, I got to have matching ones, right? Because I know I'm going to put 2 of these on the side of the house. Third one, I'm not sure where, but I'm going to put some more beads on here. So I'll let you go. You can Oh, it didn't work. Good thing we did that. That was our test. The crimping bead did not work. All right, back to the drawing board, kids. Um, so how many fell off? Just these two. All right, let's see if I can figure something else. I might have to rebead these though, because now um my line is too short. I should have just left it in there alone, right? See, I won't have much to work with. All right, let me rebead this. So I need about that and a little bit more. And again, I'll need a crimping bead on the bottom though. My other pliers would work better, like the skinnier ones, maybe. Let's try this because I can grab onto them better. Sort of. Take these away. Throw that out. If you're just jumping on, I am making some solar lights out of, these are from like lights, ceiling, some chandelier type things, or even ceiling fans. And what I want to do is hang some beads from the bottom of this, but I almost had it done and then it broke. So I'm gonna I gotta fix it. So I'm just gonna rebead this. And I made a couple other ones. So you get the solar lights from Dollar Tree, and these I got from Habitat for Humanity Restore. So you have a few options. There's different solar lights at the Dollar Tree as well, depending on what you need them for. Actually, it's a $1.25 store, right? They even have $5 items. I'll see something outside. So I'm trying to figure out. So then this goes inside of here, as you can see on this one. It's kind of like the prism. The light goes through it and it creates a prism. You can take it out. You don't need it if you don't want it. But I thought it'd be cool to string some beads on here. And so I was able to puncture a hole through the whole thing with a hot needle. And I crimped it with a crimping bead, which is supposed to kind of put like a knot in it, and it broke. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking I didn't crimp it tight enough. So I will try again because it's got to work. I just don't think I crimped it tight enough. It's just tricky because this is so. I just lost it. I got to get my hand in there with the pliers and try and get the right spot and squeeze. And I give it a little tug. I think it should be all right. I'm going to leave just in case it comes undone again. Because last time I cut all this off and then I had to restring it. So let's just see if this works. And then you just screw this back in there. Maybe this broke. Is that what happened? No. Maybe this won't. Okay. I thought maybe one of the prongs broke. To twist that back in there. All right. There we go. Hopefully that'll stay. Give it a little tug. And then it does. Can't really see it. A little bit. Because it's too late in here. But you hang these on a shepherd's hook outside. And there you go. Simple solar lights. So this was $2 at Habitat for our Habitat for Humanity Restore. The lights were $1.25, so that's $3.25. The beads I had, so I don't know, a couple dollars worth of beads. So 2, 3, maybe cost $4 or $5 to make this. So that's cute. I really like how that turned out. So I'm going to work on another one. And let me know if you try this. I'd love to see it. You can go to my Facebook group. It's Makers Unify Facebook group, where we share a lot of the photos of projects that we're working on and things. If you want to join that community, or you're already part of it and you want to, I might tape it closed up. You want to show us what projects you're working on, that'd be great. Otherwise, I will be here next Thursday. I'm live every Thursday at 6:30 Eastern time. Just come craft and chat with us, and just take some time for yourself to have some fun. So thank you so much for stopping by. I'm Jeannie with Makers Unify, and have a DIY day. Thanks for coming by.